Hello, hello. Welcome to Legal Marketing Coffee Talk live from LMA23 in beautiful Hollywood, Florida. We are together for the first time.
Wow, the first time.
I know. It's like the Beatles in reverse. We got, but I think we're missing somebody, aren't we? Who?
Sure.
I don't know. There is somebody else. It's vaguely familiar to me. Who? Kermit.
Is that Kermit
Waka
is
Waka.
missing?
It's Rob.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Legal Marketing Coffee Talk live from the LMA23 conference.
Yay.
We are here all together for the first time, I think, ever. Yeah, we. And I have to confess, I don't think Tahisha and I have ever occupied the same room.
We have not.
We have not.
Very
So it's
nice
very
to
nice
meet
to
you
meet
in
you.
person.
You're a restraining order.
You're much taller in person.
Well, thank you.
And you have feet. I did not know you had feet.
You had legs, to be honest.
Well, you knew I had legs. You and I have been doing this live stuff for a long time. So, but I want to welcome everybody. We're really excited to be here. We're going to kick off the conference. We're going to hear about some of the things that are going on and what everybody's up to, and we're just really, really excited. So I've got to go back behind stage and do my usual switcher thing. So talk amongst yourselves.
Thank you, Rob. Look, this is
Thank
the first
you.
time you don't have to remind me about my lighting.
That's true. Or for me to remove some tchotchkes behind me.
It's already set up.
So I do want to say thank you to Rob Cates, Cates Media, Jessica Aries by Aries. They are our video sponsor for this conference. They are going to be streaming live throughout the next couple of days, so be sure to check all of our channels. They are going to have some interviews with speakers. They're going to be live streaming from Tuesday's opening. You might hear some background noise. That's because we're in the marketplace. Andy, what did you suggest we should be wearing?
Hard hats, Roy, because literally things are being set up around us. So there are forklifts, there are other large things that I don't know how to describe happening behind us in the background. So we are legit in the build out and build up of the exhibitor hall right now.
So, Jessica, you and Rob are presenting at the conference. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're talking about how to effectively use video marketing,
Would you like
guys.
to take the microphone?
Oh, no, I just like it when you hold it for me. I kind of feel like a princess when you do that. No.
Very, very diva of
Talking
you,
to it,
Jessica.
yeah.
Very diva.
Yeah, you know, that was me actually today. But yeah, we're talking about how to use video marketing effectively and strategically within your law firm. So we're really excited to present on this topic. We've been preparing this based on a lot of data we compiled last year from our YouTube index that we did, evaluating the whole AmLaw 100 and 200 firms. But then on top of that, we're building in strategy. We're talking about how you can make the case for video within your law firm and the different types of video techniques we're seeing law firms use for their marketing efforts. So it's going to be awesome.
I love that for you. I'm super excited about that because I have not effectively used video yet. So I'm looking for some tips and also how to figure out my lighting at home so that Rob doesn't fuss at me again. Yeah.
Now, Tahisha, you are on the international board. You're a DEI co-chair, but you are also on the Annual Conference Advisory Committee. You want to tell us a little bit about what people should expect?
Absolutely. So the conference agenda is amazing. I'm very proud of it because we just have a diverse slate of speakers. The content is very robust. I think it is something that we have not seen before at a conference. There are lots of topics that we haven't touched on and lots of innovative topics that we're going to be touching on, like video and chat GDP and other topics that are, very new to our industry. So I think that our members are really going to enjoy.
So it's interesting, having served as co-chair in the past and all the different hats that you literally are wearing besides the hard hat that you probably should be, every year at the conference, we say something we've never heard before. And I love how we are constantly, as an association and as a committee with the annual conference, challenging ourselves to continue to top ourselves. The first time I was really closely involved with the conference was back in 2017 when we were in Vegas. Cynthia Voth and, it's going to slip my mind, was one of the two co-chairs. And the joke when we got together as the committee was we need to beat last year's attendance numbers. And it's always great to top our attendance numbers. Our mindset has changed. Yeah, we still want to top our attendance numbers, but now we want to top our agenda. We want to top what we're aiming to accomplish when we are together. We're looking to beat out what we've said in the past to get better about video. Like, were we talking about video a couple years ago? No, we were just figuring out how to use FaceTime on our phones. And then here we are, it's 2023, and it's a whole new world. Since we were talking about princesses, you could be Jasmine.
Absolutely.
Is that offensive?
For that.
Yeah,
No,
sorry if it is. Right.
No.
Yeah.
I want to ride a magic carpet. Let's do it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, my.
But I love how we are challenging ourselves
Yeah.
to top ourselves and do better.
Well, and we're so used to being at home with a microphone that's built into our computers, it's really hard to go, oh, I got to remember to talk to a microphone. But I think you're exactly right. And I think the richness of the content this year, and I got the distinct privilege of watching our ACAC, Storm and Norman, our co-chairs, Megan McKeon, Jen Dezo, Lee Watts, and our pre-conference co-chairs. And there was such intentionality and thoughtfulness, and I think there was a culmination of what are people needing right now? What do they need to talk about? We have 5 fish bowls, and if people don't know what that concept is, it is where people in the room are basically the presenters, and there are moderators on topics, and people pop up and the conversation continues and you learn from your peers, and each of those is timed out after other elements of the conference. So if you've been into a couple sessions and you're really jazzing on some ideas, then you can go to that and go, I need to talk some more about this with my peers, which I think is one of the best ways we can learn, in my estimation. But what are you all looking forward to the most over the next couple days?
I mean, actually, the quiet room. That sounds crazy, but but some space. I love that that's being introduced into this conference and brought in the idea of some time to kind of remove yourself from all of it. I'm very much an extrovert, but also need a little bit of that introversion side of me, and so I appreciate that aspect. I also appreciate the intentionality behind it, the idea that let's go digest this information a little bit and think a little deeper about it. So I find those types of experiences really level up my internal experience and my ability to understand the information I'm learning and digesting it and really thinking more at another level about it.
I love that word, intentionality. I'm glad that you mentioned that because, the conference co-chairs were very intentional in the content that we are bringing to the members. And so I'm really excited, of course, for all of the DEI sessions. And it's not just the traditional DEI talk, but like actually how to go back to your firms and execute on some of the strategy and really build it into your business development efforts. So I'm super excited about those sessions.
I mean, Roy's answer is probably, I can't wait for it to be over, because it's so much, and the build up, and it's like, I'm here, and oh my God, it's over already, and I understand that, and I feel that for you, and
what are you looking forward to?
So I am looking forward to it being over. No, I'm kidding. I think what agenda's great. Everything else is great. I love the people. That's what brings us back every year, is the people, especially after the past few years of either not being together or many people not being able to travel to be together. Everyone being back in one place, a great venue, a great city, sometimes good weather, depends on the time of day, obviously. But everyone being together and learning from each other and experiencing each other and then taking those ideas and taking it back to our firms or our businesses, whatever the instance and opportunity may be, and implementing those things. But it always comes back to the people.
That's exactly right. I'm going to throw some numbers out there to that point. We have nearly 1,100 people attending, which we are thrilled about. 400 people are attending for the first time. We have 200 pre-conference attendees. They are in those sessions right now. We have nearly 100 service providers, which is why you hear all the jackhammers and trolleys and things behind us. They're setting up right now. And we really have had a lot of fun with the agenda. I'm sure that shocks all of you because I'm such for restraint. But I just would suggest if you are up and around at 8:30 in the morning, whatever your time zone is tomorrow, Rob will be live streaming the opening. Please have your bail money ready for me, and if you want to have Governor DeSantis on speed dial, might be a good idea. But we also have, sorry, not getting political, just saying. And then Tuesday night we have, we went with the theme for our party. We always have a mixer, and so we're doing 80s night. And we just thought, the vibe of the hotel, Miami, let's have some throwback, and there are going to be some surprises there as well. So I'm, to your point, Andy, the content is so important, but then that moment where we can release and have fun. And I'm also really excited about our keynote, Laura Gassner-Otting. I know I'm a shameless social media nut, and I've been sharing everything about her because I want to... Who, me? But I want people to know, she just released her book, Wonder Hell, #2 Wall Street Journal bestseller, and she really... I can't. I'm not going to get the words right, but she's a kick in the ass with a hug or something. That's how she. I mangled that, but she really is. She's a straight shooter, but she gives us those words of inspiration to say, "I got this," and that's been the whole theme of Amplify. We want to shine a light on this profession. We want to advocate for ourselves and each other and celebrate who we are. We do that when we're together, and I think opening that up and making sure the world knows who we are and how strong we are and how smart we are is important and will carry over in our daily lives. So,
one more thing I'm excited for. I'm excited for Rob.
I'm excited for Rob.
Because this is an idea. Oh, no, he takes the headphones off.
You don't have to come over here, Rob. Just stay where you are.
Yeah. But this is something, this idea, and for those obviously you can't see, there's a whole big thing. It's a studio within a large exhibit hall happening right now. This is an idea that Rob and I started talking about back in 2017 and trying to think of ways in which we can pull this off. COVID obviously slowed some things down, other logistics, other issues, but the fact is we actually have a live studio in the exhibit hall. I'm sorry, what's it called now? The Marketplace.
Marketplace, yes.
In the Marketplace. And, the fact that we can broadcast like this, we'll have this dedicated setup. Yes, we'll still do roaming things, and we'll be at, for the party tomorrow night and everything else like that. But the fact that we could, be in this dedicated space with real lighting, not Tahisha's window, like all those kind of things, and then we could do this is a big thing for him. And obviously for the four of us as your
and I think
hosts.
That's an important point about continuity, because you kind of go year to year at LMA, but some ideas might not take fruition one year, but they do get life a couple of years later. And I want to thank Lisa Kamen and Ellie Hurley and Holly Amantangelo, Caitlin Heininger, Danielle Holland, Ashley Stenger, the whole LMA HQ team, because they've been working tirelessly behind the scenes to effectuate a lot of these pieces. I'm sorry, you want to jump in?
No. I was agreeing with you. The LMA team has been amazing in helping to put all of this together, and our sponsors, the sponsors that continue to support us year after year. We cannot say enough thank you. We appreciate you, and making sure that everyone comes to the Marketplace and meet those folks that send you the emails and reach out, meet them in person.
Speaking of meeting people in person, we were talking a little bit about conference etiquette before we sat down. Tahisha, you had some thoughts on this, and I think we all were kind of in agreement, but we might have different perspectives. Tell us your thoughts on conference etiquette.
Absolutely. Conference etiquette. So, as you are at the conference, or any conference, this conference or other conferences that you may be attending, I was just thinking about some ways that, you can be thoughtful as you are introducing yourself and introducing others. And one tip for conference etiquette that I have is that, when you see people that you haven't seen in a very long time, there will be lots of hugs and screams and, oh my God, I missed you. But if someone is there with you that doesn't know that gang, just say, hi, have you met Roy? Have you met Andy? So, just making sure that we introduce each other. Many of us have not met in person or met at all. We've been in a box for a very long time.
Face.
Yes, we've
jazz hands.
Yes. So, that is one conference etiquette tip. Do you have any others, Andy?
No. Not yet. Maybe if someone else answers the question first, I can then glom onto your answer. I'm going to cheat off your paper, Roy. What do you?
I would say I want to yes and to what Tahisha said. We have sometimes heard, and I felt this way the first couple of years I came to the conference. Wow, what a cliquish group of people, which isn't the case. You have to keep in mind, we generally have seen each other once a year back during normal circumstances. And so once we got to see each other, there was this, oh, wow, I want to reconnect. But there are always new people. We have 400 new people, and we want them to feel that love. So if you, and I was that guy, not surprising, in a couple of years, 10 years ago, I would be hiding behind a potted plant, and Amber Bowman was somebody who said, hey, come over here. And that makes the biggest difference. So my etiquette tip would be, yes, anding to you. If you see somebody that's kind of wandering solo and they're trying to take it all in, walk up to them, say hello, what brings you here, find out who they are, and then you can introduce them to the next group of people. And there's this kind of chain of development, and I think that's what creates community, and that's what amplifies all of us.
I was going to to add to that, not to steal your thunder,
No,
but
not at all.
Also, too, because we are so visible, us four, reminder to ourselves, too, when we are in a situation where we have an opportunity to have someone who could approach us but looks timid, maybe unsure, I hope we're welcoming in that sense, too. Like, and also just to remember.
See, I took all this time to be thoughtful. I do. I mean, I was being all this time being thoughtful, and Jessica steals it.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna fall off my chair because of that. It's live TV, folks.
Yes. No. Well, I just think about.
That's why we never had a booth. Yeah.
I've had people come up to me though at conferences and be like, "I was too afraid to say hi to you at the first conference I saw you at." And I'm like, "Me? Oh my gosh. Okay, please. Like let's be friends right away." And I'm gonna try to be more intentional about that too, because I sometimes forget the visibility we have just from the show. That we have an opportunity to do that outreach.
Yeah. So I think that's a very good point to build upon that more. Those of us on the international board will, on our name tags, will have a flag that says international board member, for example. A lot of the people who attend will go to the Friedman Williams flag, ribbon booth, right, next to registration and pick out whatever kind of either cutesy saying they want to have, like social media expert or first timer, Northeast region, along those lines. It's semi-awkward at first to stare at someone's, mid-chest area to see what their name is and their flags are. I've done it.
It's too early for this conversation.
Nah, it's too early. I've been with you for 2 days, man. We're past too early.
It's like summer
take that opportunity to kind of see where they're at with their flags and where you match up and what you can learn from somebody. But to Jessica's point, the four of us especially are approachable. We're semi-divas, but I mean, in the sense that, we require...
Taken together, we make one diva.
One large diva.
We're
like a super diva.
That's right. We're fractional divas.
Super divas. Mm-hmm. We're Destiny's second marriage child.
Divas. Yeah.
Right. But certainly, please come up to us. Please introduce yourselves. This is awkward. I don't want to make it sound as boisterous or boisterous as it is. People are like, "Oh my God, I love you on Coffee Talk," and my answer is always, "Why?" Like I'm so skeptical of it. It's like, why? But okay, here we are. Come on over. Please introduce yourselves. Right. I will sign your name tag for you, whatever you need. But please do come up to us. Come up to everybody. It's a very welcoming community of 1,100 people.
Yeah, it is.
In a
but
hotel.
It's daunting and it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that's the other point I want to make. You mentioned this about the quiet room, but there are a lot of spaces to tuck away, and your health and well-being is important. I'm an introvert, which nobody believes, and I'm also battling a sinus infection, which is great timing. And
Medicated Roy.
Yeah. And I may or may not have been woken up by the cleaning crew this morning to get to our board meeting. Allegedly, yeah. 8:52, I hear a knock on the door, and I'm like, that's not good, because I had to be at a board meeting at 9. This is your leadership at work. But, the thing of it is, take those times.
Tirelessly working.
You got to,
Literally,
You got to sleep. You got to step away. And don't always just step away to check your email. Don't step away to do another thing. Step away to enjoy the ocean. Step away to take a breath. The brain can only handle so much in any given moment, and this is a lot of stimulation. We have really amped things up. It's going to feel overwhelming at times, so walk away, and don't worry you're missing something. You will catch up later. It's all good. And I want to transition to one other point, if you guys don't mind. I joked about the opening and Florida. This is always a travel destination for me and my husband, but for some of us, it can be challenging, given some of what's going on in our landscape these days. And we can't change all of that, and I'm not going to get on a soapbox about it. But we realize and we acknowledge that. And we've done some things, some that will be surprises, and others that are openly discussed. So we are sponsoring the Pride Center here, and they have a Rainbow 5K that is running. My runner friend is running all month virtually, and April 30th. We are raising money for them tomorrow all day. We are making signs for them to show support if people can't support financially. And if nothing else, we want people to stop by and say hello and say that we care and that we love all communities and that we're here to support. So I don't know. Do we have anything else?
I don't know. Bring us home, Tahisha.
Bring us home. I love that you mentioned the work that we're doing there and the representation for this community. I can appreciate it, and I'm sure that our members can appreciate it, and it is your leadership that has gotten us to this point. So thank you, Roy. I know that this has been a labor of love. I see it. I get to witness it firsthand, on the ACAC and also as a member of the board. So, to see this all come together, and I was telling someone just yesterday, it's amazing to come to this conference, not just as a participant, but, having to, actually have a hand in it and to sit on the board. And, it is your leadership, Roy, that attracted me to these roles. No crying, Roy.
She keeps going. She's trying to get me.
So thank you, Roy, and just thank you to all of the members that are here. It's so appreciative. Like, you left your families and work, and we know that you're juggling a lot to, make this trip, and we, hope that it is worth your while. We hope that, you make new connections and you learn some amazing things to take back to your firm to amplify your career.
Thank you all. Thank you, Rob and Jessica, Kate's Media by Aries, for your support. We love you, and I love you. This is truly special. I don't know that we'll look back on this and go, we started this in the pandemic. There are others that were involved, but we were the quartet that kind of carried on. And to be here in person together and have this conversation, we got into energy mode and the adrenaline started going, but this is pretty special to be here with you.
It is.
So,
it's very special.
All right. We love you, Rob. Waka waka.
Thank you, Rob.
What is it? Wear a mask, wash your hands, do good.
Make good trouble.
Make good trouble.
Make good trouble.
Do good trouble.